How did I get over 20 college soccer offers? Today I'm going to be telling you all about my recruiting story and how I got those offers and where I'm at now, what my situation is, and how I can help you guys. I've been seeing a lot of comments asking where I play and all this stuff, so I'm going to tell you all about my recruiting now. I was never a great soccer player. I was playing on a pretty normal level soccer team in LA, not ECNL, not MPL, a little lower, SoCal Soccer League. And one day after my sophomore season, I had a pretty good sophomore season in high school, and people were telling me, you might as well try and play college soccer. I never thought I was good enough, but if people were telling me around me, I saw there was no harm in trying. So towards the end of my sophomore year of high school, I started contacting college coaches. I put together my first highlight video, and I began training a lot harder than ever with the idea that maybe I could try and play college soccer at a high academic D3 because I was a solid student going to a great school, and I thought my best opportunity to play college soccer would be try to play at a D3 with great academics. So I began reaching out to schools. Going into my junior year, I went to my first ID camp, and I just started reaching out, trying my hardest to be communicating and get these coaches' attention as best as I could. And slowly I was starting to learn these tips and strategies that consistently started getting me more response from college coaches and more interest. Beginning of my junior year, I started having phone calls with coaches, started going to some events, started talking to a lot more schools than I was before and getting a lot more interest and responses. And after my high school soccer season, I joined an ECNL team. On this ECNL team, I was a bench player, fairly. I was not one of the best players on this team. The right back in front of me, the left back in front of me, the center defensive mid in front of me were better players than me. So I wasn't playing that much. But it did put me in a place where I could send better film out because it was ECNL level film. And a lot of the coaches that I'd been talking to already were preparing to go to the ECNL playoffs and ECNL showcase. So it put me in a position where I could get a lot more interest from college coaches. In this time period, too, was Jefferson Cup, which is in Virginia, and it lined up with my spring break for high school. And because I was interested in high academic D3s on the East Coast, I contacted a lot of coaches playing at this event, and I asked for a guest player position. And after contacting a bunch of the clubs, I get a guest player position for a club named Jeb, a team from New Jersey, playing in the second highest division of Jeff Cup. And so it was a good place for me to get seen. I contacted a lot of the coaches I was talking to because they were on the East Coast mostly. And after this event, I had a pretty solid showing as a guest player. I'm not super like a player that really stands out the most, but I'm a solid player. And after this event, I got my first offer from a school that I hadn't even contacted beforehand. They found me at the tournament. I sent them my highlight video after. And after one phone call, I had an offer, which is fantastic. Once I got that one offer, I started getting a lot more confident that I was at the college soccer level because a team had already thought I was. And even though this school was not one I was going to plan on pursuing and going to, it was something that I was going to leverage and use to show other coaches that I am at the level. After this event, I got a lot of positive reviews from college coaches, and I was getting one step further in the recruiting process with a lot of these schools. And so when the end of my season came, a lot of the coaches decided to show up to my ECNL playoff games and invited me to genuine invitations to ID camps. Because I wasn't as good as a lot of the players on my team, at the ECNL playoffs, I didn't really play that much. Aside from the consolation game, I think I played 20 minutes the most in any of my games. In the consolation game, I probably played like 60 out of the 80 minutes, which is good, and some coaches came to watch me, which is great. And I got 2 offers from that event, from also schools that I wasn't super high on, but schools that had reached out to me or I had contacted as backups who came to watch me and thought I was a solid player. After that, I went on the ID camp trail, going to some of my top schools, going to camps that I had been generally invited to, and with schools that were inviting other schools to come watch as well. So I was getting to see my multiple schools at one time. And even if these schools weren't high on my list, I was contacting them. So they would give me an evaluation, give me feedback, and potentially give me an offer as well that I could leverage. And that happened as well. So at this point, I'm sitting on a few offers. I'm feeling very solid. Got an offer from a top D3 program that I was pretty excited about, but academically it wasn't for me. But I'm in deeper talks with a lot of schools that I'm a lot more interested in academically. So sort of going into the end of the summer, I played Surf Cup, got seen by a lot of coaches I was interested in, and I'm still just communicating over the phone, communicating over email, sending new highlights to a lot of the schools that I still continue to be interested in heavily. By the time late August rolls around, I kind of had an idea of what schools were too far in the recruiting class for me, what schools were still considering me, and what schools I should kind of just give up at that point. And I was still trying to use the offers and the conversations I was having with other coaches to leverage. So by the time high school year rolled around, I had an idea of what schools I thought I could seriously play at and what schools I was really considering pushing for extremely and going to a last ID camp or figuring out a way to play in front of them. As September turned to October, I was still talking to coaches, but nothing was really landing. I was getting offers from schools I wasn't super interested in. They were giving me scholarships that were very, very generous, scholarships north of $150,000 across my 4 years. So fantastic stuff, really enticing stuff, but I knew I wanted better for myself academically, and I wanted a better fit school. And I still wasn't getting that from the various schools that had offered me at this point. Various schools of the D1, D2, and D3 level, mainly the D3 because that's what I was aiming for, and that's the level I really was at. But there was other schools that were noticing me because of my film, because of the way I was emailing them and contacting them, and the way I was, when they reached out to me, I was continuing to entertain them and show that I actually had interest back, when at the end of the day, I really didn't have that much interest back, and I didn't end up playing at any of those schools, but it was helpful in leveraging with other schools. At the end of the day, it became November, and I was still talking to some schools, but I kind of realized that none of the schools that had given me the opportunity and the schools that were still recruiting, none of them were really the right fit for me, socially or academically. So at that point, I kind of called it quits, not going to lie. So I had, I think, 22 offers, might have been the final number, mainly at the D3 level, but none of them were the right fit. And I knew in my mind that I wanted to go to the best fit school for me, not just play college soccer. So that was this moment when I realized that even if I did play college soccer, my skill set wasn't incredible. I did fantastic in the marketing aspect to get myself to the college soccer level, to get the opportunity. But if I went, I don't think I would have been happy not playing that much and going to a school that wasn't really the right fit for me. So I decided to apply as a student and go to school as a student. I found a school that was a fantastic fit for me, and I'm really excited to be attending next year. But even though I decided not to play college soccer and not commit anywhere, I did very well in the recruiting process in marketing sense. So now I've been helping other students get recruited and doing the same with their abilities, market themselves the best way possible, because that's what I learned how to do. That's how I got so much success. I was sending out the right videos. I was contacting them with the right information. I was going to the right camps. I was doing what they wanted to see. I was showing them. I was doing the right things in marketing sense, on the computer, all the stuff off the field. I was doing very well, and that's why I got so much interest. And that's why I help players now. Players that are better than me on the field, players that aren't better than me on the field, but I'm still helping you get college soccer opportunities, no matter your situation. So if you want college soccer help, if you want help getting recruited from someone who's been through the process, who has been helping other players and is having success right now, call me. Go to the link in my bio and apply for a call.